Ebony's. So whilst the Halle Bailey and DDG saga continues, I want to actually focus on the lessons that you can learn from either being in a toxic relationship, or if you've come out of a toxic relationship, lessons that you can learn so that you can never, ever, ever be in a relationship or situationship or anything like that again. So let's talk. So I want to focus on the fact that as this continues, a lot of things have come out recently where the focus has been on bashing Halle Bailey, and it's really showing the toxicness side of social media. And when people refer to the red pill movement, I never really understood it, but in situations like this, it really comes to light and it really shines and stands out. And it is really, really, really toxic. And one thing that I want to focus on for my ladies, because I want to see you thrive, I want to see you shine, I really want to see my Ebony step into your power, because remember, you do have power over your life in every single aspect. And you should never let any circumstance or any situation prevent you from really flourishing and shining and being your best self and your best version. So in order to be that person, in order to be your best self, to be your best version, in order to glow up, you have to see what you can learn from being in a situation like that. And when I'm talking about it, I'm talking from experience. I'm talking from a point of having been in a toxic situation where at that time I couldn't see the red flags. And now that I've come out of it, I've overcome it, I've healed from it, and I'm able to spot the red flags so clearly. And it's interesting because people are bashing Halle and saying, well, she should have known, she should have seen the red flags before. But I think I mentioned this in my previous video that I've done about Halle Bailey and DDG. And I can say to you that if you haven't been in a situation like that before, if you haven't been in a relationship like that before, sometimes it can be really hard to spot the red flags compared to a woman who's gone through it. If you've got experience of going through toxic behaviors and narcissism from your partner, you're able to spot the red flags quickly. And when I talk about red flags, I'm talking about the body language. You're able to spot how they are when they're with you, how they speak to you, what are the words that they constantly choose to say to you. Is it positive or is it negative? Are they always trying to put you down? Are they jealous of you? Are they showing envy? Even though they're supposed to be your spouse and your partner, are they actually your enemy? Are you actually laying down with the enemy? And it's so, like I said, it's so easy to spot when you've been through it. But we need to give Halle some grace here. This could be one of her probably deep relationships, and a relationship that she probably did really love him. And what comes with that is that she probably overlooked, like many women do, she overlooked the red flags despite how many people were going in when everyone first found out that she was with this guy. People were really going in and really bashing her and really saying to her, this is not the right guy for you. But the lessons that you can learn from being in a relationship like that is, and I'm talking to women whether you have children and whether you don't have children with this person, but the first lesson is that you cannot control someone else's behavior. So if you've ever been in a relationship with someone who is toxic, who is a narcissist, who is manipulative, who is jealous or envious of you, you can't control that behavior. That is within them. And that is something that they have to work on and have to heal through. And if they're not going to do the inner work to heal from that, trust and believe that they're going to pass that on into their next relationship or their next situationship with another female. So you should never, ever feel sad or, okay, feeling sad is normal, but you should never really, really feel heartbroken that this person is no longer in your life because they may have moved on or they may have met someone else. Trust me, even if they had moved on, even if they have met someone else, that new person, unfortunately, is going to be getting the same version that you received and probably even worse. So you should always remind yourself of that. During those times that you might be missing the person, during those times that you might be yearning for that person, remind yourself, well, actually, even if he has moved on, he's moved on with someone who's going to go through the same cycle and the same situation that you was in, and it will unfold within a few months. The new lady will see it within a few months. So remind yourself to learn from this situation that you can't control another person's behavior. You just can't do it. The second thing that I want my ladies to be mindful of is that you do have some control and you do have some power. And it is about taking some accountability, because in a lot of situations, ladies, we have to admit it, we stay longer than we were supposed to be there. We should have left that relationship long time ago. And I'm talking way long ago. We should have left those relationships and situations a very long time ago, probably within 1 or 2 months. And if you're spiritual like me, I believe in God, and I believe that He will show you who your person is supposed to be, and He will show that to you quite quickly. But a lot of the times we overlook it because we're in love or we're in lust. We really like this person. They might be our type physically from head to toe. We feel like we haven't met someone like them before. Or you might feel like you can't get better than that person if you're basing it off of looks. But trust and believe me, the red flags were probably there very, very early on, and they were just overlooked by yourself. So I would say it's really important to not just put blame on that other person. So yes, you can't control their behaviors, but also you need to take accountability for the fact that you probably stayed longer than you should have. And I'm saying this with love. So please don't come for me. I am saying this with love, that you can spot the red flags so soon that you will be able to know, well, actually, you can avoid situations like this if you just cut that person off straight away. The moment that those red flags start creeping in, don't give as many chances as you have been used to in the past. If it means that you have to take drastic actions, such as blocking the person, or, even just being polite and saying to them, look, I don't think it's working out, and, I wish you well, but it's a wrap, really. By all means, do that. If ghosting, I don't believe in that because I think it's quite cruel. But if that's what you have to do to get the person away from you and out of your life, then do that, because at the end of the day, your well-being matters. You have to prioritize yourself and start thinking about yourself more. Put yourself on the pedestal now. Take them off the pedestal and put yourself at the top, and remind yourself of all those toxic behaviors. So take accountability, step into the fact and know the fact that, yes, you stayed longer than you should have, and you shouldn't have stayed that long. And now this is a lesson for you, because you knew what the red flags were. You saw the red flags at the beginning, but you gave that person a chance, probably because you're kind-hearted and you're a loving person and you really wanted it to work. I understand it. Ladies, I get it. But we have to be real here. Accountability is important. So once you're able to acknowledge that, trust me, the healing will be so much easier, and it will be so much quicker and so much simpler, because then you're able to see, well, actually, I stay so long in that situation or in that relationship, but at the same time, I still left and I have power over my life. I have control over my life. I can decide who's in my life and who's not in my life. I can decide what I'm willing to put up with. If you're not willing to put up with toxic behaviors, if you're not willing to put up with a man who's going to lie, cheat, steal from you, abuse you emotionally, physically, or financially even, if you're not willing to be in a situation like that, if you know deep down that that is not a right situation, then by all means, leaving. There is no crime in leaving. That is probably the best thing that you can do. And you don't really owe that person an explanation if it's got to the point that is so toxic. So please, ladies, take accountability, knowing yourself that you probably did stay too long. I've done it myself, so I'm not passing judgment, but it's one of those lessons that I learned. And like I said, it really helped to propel me into a new self. It gave me a better perspective of myself and made me realize it's not even just in relationships that I have a lot of power over, but in general, you have a lot of power over your life. So accountability is key. And once you get to that point where you can sit down and look yourself in the mirror and say to yourself, you know what, I did stay too long. I know I stayed too long and I should have left a long time ago. Regardless of whether I have a child or not, you should have left a long time ago, or you should have cut that situation off a long time ago. Once you get to that point, trust me, your healing will be so much quicker, so much faster. A lot of things will just start to make sense. A lot of the behaviors of that person, you will begin to see their true self. It will all just click. So accountability is key. And then the third thing, lessons to learn, is, ladies, if you are in a relationship with this person and you don't have children with them and you spotted the red flags, I would say number 3 would be, don't get pregnant. Protect yourself, protect your womb, leave these people where they are and move on. But don't get pregnant. Don't bring a child into that type of situation. Don't bring a child into toxicity. Don't do it to yourself, because what will happen is that you're just going to make your life even harder. Your life is going to become even more stressful. Your child is always going to be your priority, but the guy, he will do anything to drag you down. He will do anything to prevent your shine, to stop your glow up. And that's not what you want. And having the responsibility of having a child where you're going through such a stressful situation with this person that's going to basically have their whole aim to make your life hell, is hard. And you have to have some real strength within you. You have to have resilience within you. You need to have a good support network around you just to keep you focused and to keep you sane. You know, I've met people in the past whose parents have got divorced from a relationship, and parents have had breakdowns. The women have had breakdowns because of the end of the relationship, even if it wasn't working. But the impact emotionally on them was just too much to bear. So please, don't, as much as you can, don't get pregnant. Suss this person out. Protect yourself, protect your womb. Because even if this person, like I said, if they're cheating on you, they could be passing anything on to you, and that's affecting you. That would affect your health. So please don't bring a child into it. Protect yourself, protect your womb. Really work out if this person is the one. Really work out if this person is right for you. If you're religious or spiritual, pray to God. Ask God for discernment, because you're going to need it. With certain men, with all men actually, ask for discernment, because sometimes our judgment can be clouded by a lot of things. It can be influenced by our friends. It can be influenced by our family. It can be influenced by a lot of other people's opinions. But essentially, you just need to get that discernment so that you can make a good judgment about who this man is that you're wanting to be in a relationship with. Who is this man that potentially you might settle down with and have children with or get married to? Thankfully, Halle didn't get married to him, so she's not going to lose much financially in that sense. Obviously, from my accent, you can hear I'm from the UK, so I don't know how it works in terms of if someone's not married, do they still have to pay child support? But I think DDG, he's got money anyway, so I don't think he'll be lacking there. But I do think that because a child is involved, his whole aim is going to be to make Halle's life hell. And by whatever means he can do that, he will try to do it. And like I said in my previous video, he will use, because he can't really speak on her in public because of that restraining order, he will use other people around him to get the message across, because he knows that he can't. But he'll feed them information behind the scenes, and then they'll be the ones that will speak up. They'll be the ones that will speak out and try to tarnish her name, try to tarnish her reputation, try to sabotage her brand. You know, he'll get people to do that. And I think I've even seen online that his mum has spoken out and defended him. And even that is like, really? Given some of the information that we've heard so far, his mum, and maybe she has to do that because she feels that it's her son. And maybe behind the scenes, she's told him off. Who knows? But you know, he can't speak up. So he's going to do anything he can to make sure that he can keep his reputation intact as much as possible. You know, he's got brand deals on the line. He's got money on the line here. So he's going to do damage control, but he knows he can't do it directly. So he'll get other people to do that for him. And typical narcissist, he'll manipulate other people into believing his side. You know, he'll try to dig up any dirt that he can find on her, however small it is. We're not dumb. We're not stupid. We know how it works. But this is all about knowing yourself. Learn from situations like this. Learn from toxic relationships, ladies. I have got to a point of healing. I did it quickly. I did it simply. If you're in a similar situation and you just want to get on your healing journey, jump on your healing journey, I've got a mini guide below. I've got scripting guides. I've got Goddess Unlocked, Affirmations. I've even got a mini guide that you can tap into, especially for single moms who've gone through toxic relationships, that will help you to heal quickly within 7 days. I'm going to get you to shift your mind within 7 days. Let's not make healing a longed out thing. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you check out this description below, and I'll see you in another one.